Do you often find yourself worried about what others think of you? Are you often worried about criticism and judgment from others? And do you often find yourself seeking for others' validation? Well, you're not alone. In a world dominated by social media and social expectations, many of us struggle with the fear of judgment. Oftentimes, we find ourselves worried about fitting in and pleasing everybody that's around us, right? But what if I told you there is a way that you can break free from this fear of judgment and this constant comparison to others? The problem starts with our deep-rooted need for acceptance. From a very young age, we're conditioned to seek approval from our peers, our teachers, our parents. This desire of fitting in often morphs itself into a fear of judgment, making mistakes, standing out, or just being different. This constant worry isn't just exhausting, but it can also hold you back from reaching your true potential. When we care too much about what others think, we limit ourselves. We avoid taking risks, experiencing new things, or just living life the way that we truly want to. Not only can this fear lead you to missing opportunities because you're too afraid to take that risk, but it can also lead you to living a life that lacks fulfillment because you're too afraid of people laughing at you or it not working out. How do we overcome this? How do we stop letting the fear of what people think of us have control of our lives and really dictate the decisions that we make when it comes to our future, our careers, and our goals? Instead of focusing on what people say, focus on what you can control. Your actions and your reactions are the only things that you can control. Everything else is just noise. In my case, for example, the only thing that I can do is make good videos. Whether people are gonna like it or appreciate it, that's outside of my control. All I can do is take the feedback that people give me and filter out which one is productive and which ones are not, and take the ones that I think are productive and then apply them to make my product even better. But I could make the best video on the planet, the best video I could physically make, and somebody is still going to criticize, right? And the same thing applies to you. You can study as hard as you can and really give it your all in a school project or whatever it is that you're working on. And I assure you, there are still going to be people out there that criticize you or think that you didn't do good enough of a job. One of the most important things you can do is develop a sense of self-worth that isn't reliant on others' approval. When you think back about your life and about the things that you are doing and you want to determine if you're successful or not, oftentimes we think about what would XYZ person think, right? My mom, my teachers, those I went to high school with. But one of the first steps for us to be able to break free from this constant fear of being judged or being accepted by others is by creating an identity, developing a strong sense of self-worth that isn't attached to anyone else's opinions of you. It's very important to practice self-acceptance and to really reminiscent about the things that you have already accomplished and how you have improved as a person. Thinking back about how far you've come will really help you get out of a rut. I really suggest reminding yourself of everything that you have accomplished already and how far you came. Doing that will help you get out of any rut or that feeling that you aren't doing anything or that you aren't doing enough or that so many people that you know are doing far better than you. At the end of the day, guys, I've said this before in multiple videos, but life and your career is a marathon, not a sprint, okay? Some people are gonna get to where they want to get to way faster than you, but people that are destined for greatness or people that are striving for something so big, for them, it's obviously going to take a lot longer to reach their goals. Don't let other people discourage you and don't let anybody tell you that you aren't doing good enough. The battle is with yourself, okay? The competition is between you and you from yesterday. If you're struggling with self-acceptance or you have a hard time looking back in your life and really appreciating how far you came or the things you have accomplished, here are some practical tips and things you can actually do today to help you in this journey of loving yourself and really accepting the chapter that you're in and what life holds for you in the future. Number one is going to be practice mindfulness. Stay present, focusing on the moment and on the task at hand, and really live life one step at a time. This is going to help you a lot when it comes to getting the small things done instead of thinking so big and thinking about what others are doing and what would others think about what you're doing right now. Practicing mindfulness is something that my mom has taught me a lot. She is such a genius when it comes to mindfulness, and being present and understanding your situation is really important for you to be able to make any changes in your life. Set personal goals. It's very important for us to set goals and really hold ourselves to it, right? So if you want to cut weight, hit the gym and have a better physical appearance or just overall live healthy, that's an easy personal goal that you can set for yourself, and it's quite simple for you to keep track and see how far you've come and how good are you at sticking with the program. You can also set personal career goals. So for example, I work in sales. If it's a season where I really need to cold call or prospect more clients, I might give myself a minimum number of calls I want to make that day, and it's very important that I hold myself to that number. If you don't keep up the promises that you make to yourself, you will not keep up any promises that you make to others, okay? If you can't respect yourself, you can't respect anyone else, at least not truly. The third step is to limit social media and any platforms that fuel this social comparison. I talked about this in my previous video, but upward comparison is one of the main drivers to why Gen Z is so depressed. We were the first generation to grow up with these things, right? We grew up with phones. I've been having my phone since the 6th grade. From an early age, we have normalized comparing ourselves to everybody around us, our classmates, those above us, those beneath us. We have always compared ourselves with people that we see on social media. So limiting how much time you spend on those platforms is going to be crucial if you want to achieve your goals, or if you want to make any changes in your life. Number 4 is going to be to surround yourself with supportive people. It is very important for you to have a group of friends that know what you're doing. They hold you accountable. They support you. They give you motivation to keep going. If you are surrounded by a group of friends that laugh at you or that poke fun at what you're doing, even if it's so small, it could be those micro jokes or microaggressions. I hate using that term, but it could be those microaggressions where they just poke a little bit of fun at what you're doing, or they laugh at you a little bit here and there. Now, obviously, you don't want to be somebody who can't take a joke. I mean, nobody likes people like that. But at the same time, if you're working on building something that is really going to propel your life to the next level, you want your friends to be on your side, not against you, right? Why would you want friends that laugh at you or that think that you can't do it, or keep telling you to do something else because this is not going to work out? It is very important that you surround yourself with people that want you to do well. I honestly think you'll be better off alone than with friends that aren't adding to your life or aren't supporting your goals, especially if you live in a populated area like I do. I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. You don't have to marry the friends that you have right now, okay? You can make more friends. And understanding what friendships and what relationships are toxic and aren't adding anything to your life, it's very important. Not all of your friends are going to be friends for the rest of your life. It is totally okay for you to move your friendships around and add more people or remove people, because not everybody is going to be in your life for the long run. Some people are just there for a season. Number 5 is going to be to engage in self-reflection. Now, we already covered this at the beginning of this video, but it's very important for you to self-reflect. I do a lot of self-reflection when I go back home to Brazil. I go every year around Christmas time. I have a lot of alone time and I can reflect about my life, but I actually want to start doing self-reflections more often. It's very important that you guys also do a lot of self-reflection, so that way you can account for the things that you have already accomplished and the things that you haven't accomplished yet, and how you're working towards those things. Remember, the journey to stop caring about what other people think of you is really a personal one. It won't happen overnight, but with persistence and self-acceptance, you will get there. Like I said earlier, we're all preconditioned to really care about what other people think and really seek the validation and approval of those above and around us. So making this drastic change in your life will obviously take some time. Just make sure to be patient with yourself and love yourself and do the things that you're supposed to do, so that way you don't feel guilty about going against the grain. Embrace your unique path, celebrate your individuality, and live a life that's true to you. You're the one waking up and living this life every single day, so live on your own terms. After all, the only opinion that really matters is your own. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does tons to my channel. If you're struggling with your screen time and you're often on your phone for hours on end and you can't get nothing done and you can't get focused, click right here to watch my latest video.